Good afternoon. If you've joined us here at the Reading Rockets game against the Hoods, the stream is up and we'll be coming to you very shortly.
Good evening and welcome to the Rivermead Leisure Centre, where this evening the Reading Rockets play the Nottingham Hoods. Thank you everybody for joining us on the live stream. Already got a few people following, which is great. Bit of housekeeping at the beginning. If you do have a chance to share the YouTube link on any platform, don't mind. Facebook, Twitter. Don't think Instagram allows you to share the links, but if you do have a chance to share, please do. Let's try and build up as much of a following as possible as we can before the game tips. 8:27 to go before tip-off, so just over 8 minutes. Billy joins us. Let's go Kino's Army, indeed. Let's give it a whirl. Should be a good one tonight. Should be joined by the Rockets Director of Performance, Matt Johnson, at some point this evening. At the moment, it's me solo for a little bit. But once he joins us, should make for a pretty good evening on the live stream. Did a few checks pre-game on the Rocket squad and all looks good there. Adrian O'Sullivan fully suited. It doesn't look too heavily strapped either, so presume he's good to go. And a fairly similar lineup as to what you'd usually expect from the Rockets.
Good afternoon and welcome everybody here, especially to you guys from the football club. It's a special day for you and it's good to have you with us. There will be many special occasions in Reading with Rockets basketball over the 21-year history, and there will be one or two very special people that have not only embraced this sport, but are really brilliant advocates for the sport as a whole. And today, as a surprise to him, and because we played for our opponents today, I want to talk just for a moment about a very special player, a very special person. This is someone who's retiring this year after giving about 12 to 14 years to basketball at this level across the country, and now back in his home area. I think the other important things for me are how influential he was when he was here in Reading, playing for us and serving the community. And he was working there with disadvantaged kids in tough areas around the town. Now he spends his time, part-time, working with SEN children in a special school in and around Nottingham. And so today, we just want to say a very big, huge thank you for who this guy is and what he's done for the sport, and especially for Reading. He's always been available to us, to other players and coaches around here, and he's spending more time now with his dad, who's gone in the best of health. So for his commitment and our love of him, we just want to say, Tintin, please take this as a token of our appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Tintin Watts. Okay, it is showtime. Let's announce the team. It's the Rockets versus the Hoods. And they're about 5-0. Curtis Williams. Wearing the 1, Anastasios Trinos. In 4 is Kieran Wright. Wearing 5, Ruben
hopefully you just caught the tail end there of Reading Rockets chairman Gary Johnson paying tribute to David Tintin Watts, long-time serving member of the Reading Rockets family for a number of years. Billy, see that you shared the link, so very much appreciated for that. Great job there by Ben Fisher, our arena announcer. Players are on the floor now. Under 3 minute whistle gone for the referees, so we will seriously get ready for tip-off now.
We're working to be business tonight after a very, very committed performance against the Premier leaders, Fatomide yesterday, going down to a very narrow 1 point defeat.
Just going through the Rockets lineup then. So Adrian O'Sullivan wears 4, Trey Pemberton in 5, Adrian Nosa in 6. In form, AJ Carr wears 7. Academy product David Obadiah in 8. Defensive stopper Sidney Donaldson in 9. The man at the moment, David Chive, another Academy product, having himself a great 3-game stretch. He wears 10. Sam Grant, Academy guy in 11. Third-year Academy guy Arinze Emeka in Yakwo wears 12. Captain Carter, Danny Carter in 13. Ronan O'Sullivan in 14. And new-ish guy Tanner Kuhn wears 15. Great atmosphere in the Mead tonight. Got a couple of local schools in the building. Great for them to come over. There in the main stand behind the scorers table, really filling up. I'll give you an idea of starters just as they come onto the floor.
Incidentally, the Nottingham Hoods are coached by Ryan Weston, and for the Rockets, they're going to go with number 5, Trey Pemberton, 7, AJ Carr, 9, Sidney Donaldson, 10, David Chive, and 13, Danny Carter. This will be the second meeting between the two teams this season.
Our friends at Upstream Media have just checked in. We're missing you here tonight. Another angle will be great. Really filling up. Glad you're enjoying the game. Sensibly and responsibly, of course. I appreciate everyone else joining, up to 26 watchers on the live stream. As I say, Billy was great and shared the live stream. If we can keep pushing it out as far as possible, pick up as many people along the way. We've got an excellent product here at Reading, if I do say so myself, and I think we need to spread that message that the NBL has excellent talent, excellent off-court product. So please, 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 would mean the absolute world to us if you could share the stream, and we'll try and fill this place up.
Let's welcome both teams to the floor. Show your appreciation for our visitors this evening, the Nottingham Hoods. And let's have a huge cheer. We are hosting the Rivermead Rockets!
Rockets have got Carter, Pemberton, Donaldson, Chive and AJ Carr, familiar starting 5 from the last couple of games. the Nottingham McDonald's Hood starting with Wright in 4, Mitchell in 5, Powell in 8, Well in 42, and I'm just picking up the last number, which is Slavic in 6. The players in the middle ready for the tip. Going to be Carter and Slavic to jump this one up. Jump ball controlled by the Hoods. They reverse through well. Now with Powell goes to his left, Donaldson plays him tough. Wright goes to the step back just inside 3 and gets it to go. The Rockets first offense underway with David Chive. Looking for Trey in the corner off the little flare. Shot clock under 10 is at 7. Chive fires and he makes his first. Guy playing with a lot of confidence at the moment. Tanner's family in the house from Chicago, thanks for joining us again, guys. Always appreciated. Well goes to the right hand, drives at Carter and Carr. Nothing doing, but the ball stays with Nottingham. Ball goes top, they go straight to pick and roll. Rockets have gone into a little 2-3 zone on the out of bounds by the looks of things. Hooked up by Well. Nothing doing. Ball stays with Reading. A little bit of pressure up the floor from Nottingham. A little 2-2-1 press by the looks of things. Soft look though, more of a delay. They'll find Carter in the mid-block. Trey on the cut, little scoop pass from Carter, finds it for the finish. Chive plays Mitchell, goes under the first pick, goes over the top of the one from Slavic, hands in from AJ Carr, nice. Shot clock under 10 for the Hoods. They'll go wing pick and roll. Pull up, nothing doing, front rim, but the long rebound stays with the guys from Nottingham. AJ with the pressure on. On the right. AJ called for his first. Little touch foul, but called anyway. David Chive denies Mitchell. Slows up the offense. This is Powell. Shot clock at 5. Line drive at the front rim. Doesn't go. And here's Pemberton. He'll go to the crossover. Driving middle, tries to find Chive. Deflected by Nottingham. They'll reverse through Carter. Sydney dials his own number. Doesn't go. Good rebounding from the Rockets. Sydney down the middle and he's fouled. Nice effort on the glass collectively from AJ Carr, and David Chive keeps that one alive. Sid just dives to the rack and gets fouled. Sydney misses the first. The live stream's up to 35 watchers. Thanks everyone for sharing the link out. The more we can push it, the better it gets. Sid makes his second, and the Rockets lead this one 6-2. Pressure from the Rockets, close to an 8-second call. Smart switch from Chive. Or guard-to-guard switch. They'll go pick and roll with the two bigs. And this is well on the drive. He'll spin inside, goes to the left hand, and a nice finish. Sydney runs the right wing, loses the handle, and finally puts it up. Tough call there. Sid completely out of control. Ref bails him out a little bit. Cool nonetheless. That one's on well. Sid gets another chance at the line. Makes his first this time. Friendly roll, gets the second. More pressure from the Rockets. They escape the trap. Stuck in the corner. AJ will stick with the trap. Great denial from David Chive. And they're at 10 seconds already on the shot clock, so it works perfectly. And this is former Rocket Tintin Watson again. Powell on the drive. Throws it up, no good. And the Rockets are out and running, led by Carter. No real numbers. Danny sensibly pulls up. Chive goes on the drive. Throws it up onto that board and makes it, and that is time out for Nottingham Hoods. I imagine there's some adjustments to be made here out of this timeout for Nottingham. Nice start from the Reading Rockets here. They've come out with some full court pressure. That seems to have slowed down the Nottingham Hoods. They've struggled to get into offense. Anything under kind of, well, anything above 12 seconds is really making them struggle with the shot clock stuff. Again, first look at me tonight. Mark Halewood, your commentator. Thanks for joining us this evening. Hoping that this is a worthwhile broadcast for everyone. As I say, if you do get a chance to share it, it means the world to us. Give me a shout as well if the crowd noise is coming through loud on the live stream. On my mic it's relatively loud, but just interested to know if you can hear the amount of fans we've got in here tonight. It's very, very busy. Send me a message, let me know. We'll see if Coach Weston's made some adjustments. It was the press that was causing him trouble. They'll go with Tintin Watts to inbound and just trail the press. They've broken it, but again, 14 seconds. Watts dials his own number. Way off to the left. And here's AJ Carr, yet to take a shot tonight. Early post for Carter. He'll go one-on-one with Slavic, turns the corner, left-handed layup. Too quick for Slavic in the low block there. Same again. Watts to trail the break. Better from the Hoods. AJ denies Watts. Watts will go to the dribble. Wants to pull up, does, and makes it. He's got the size and length to hit that kind of shot on a pretty regular basis. David Watts. Tintin, as he's known to anybody. I didn't even know his real name for a long time. Just as Sid goes up, nothing doing. AJ flying out of bounds. Chairman Gary Johnson was in the danger zone then. Back when this is Mitchell. Through Slavic down screen to get Powell open, doesn't work. Back to Mitchell. Watts slips pick and roll, nice D by AJ. Right to Slavic, he'll have to make a move. Finds Mitchell, pulls up for three, no good. Watts on the boards. Finds Mitchell, they'll reset for another offense. roll. Can't find Slavic as he dives to the rim. Here's Carr. Takes his time, finds Pemberton. Pemberton going pick and roll with AJ Carr. Now gets it in a very preferred position for him. Mid-block, goes to the pull-up. Nothing doing this time. Be interesting that matchup, see if Watts has got the length to disturb Carr. He's got a lot of moves. AJ can do a lot of different things from about in the mid-post area. But Watts is also quick. Got length to defend. Shot clock at 4. And foul. That will be frustrating for Alan Keane. Foul so late in the shot clock. Subs in. Tanner Kuhn into the game with Arinze Mecca and Yakwo. AJ Carr and Danny Carter out. Rockets going a little bit smaller. Shot clock at 7. Trying to stay down on the fake. Right gets nothing to go. Rockets out and running again. Here's Arinze to Chime, reverse through Donaldson. Wing pick and roll with Trey Pemberton. Skips to Chive, he'll catch it on the dribble. Comes off his foot. Turnover. Powell inside, fouled on the drive. Fouls on Sidney Donaldson. His first. Adrian O'Sullivan checks into the game for the Rockets. And just as Adrian checks in the game, notice our friends from Ireland have been busy liking the tweet to the live stream. If you're able to retweet that tweet and send the live stream further, we'd be ever so grateful. I might be asking too much. Up to 39 watches, so it's doing its job. Good job, everybody watching the stream. It's having an effect, see? It's always nice to see the results. We are having an effect. More retweets, more likes, more people watching. Good game, we're going 12-8. 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Rockets lead. Bit of defensive pressure from both teams. Pemberton doesn't dial his own number yet. Finds O'Sullivan. He'll go to the step back. It's deep. Front rim's a great balls by Arinze. Can't get it to go. Tanner tips it in with the left hand. Arinze is one to watch on the offensive glass. He is all over the offensive boards as a guard or a wing, depending on what you call him. Powell on the drive. He'll get inside. Little Hezzy goes on the left hand drive and puts it in. O'Sullivan down the middle. Mitchell from behind reaches. Push called. Shouts of "it's too late" on the floor from Tintin, saying the call's too late. Tend to agree with him on that one. Rockets can't get inside. They'll just go to Pemberton. Caught him sleeping, sealed his man, just flipped it up and in. Three us in the game. David Watts goes up and under. Little underhand finish. Crafty. 16-12, just over 2 to go. Arinze thinking about the drive, just drops it off to Donaldson on that baseline. Finds Tanner Kuhn from 3. No good. Watts on the rebound. I think that's on Powell. Oh, excuse me, it's on Donaldson. That will be his second. Might think about adjustments here from Coach Keane. I often say this about Sid. High energy guy, great defensively. But he does try to fine line and can pick up quick fouls. Rockets with more pressure. Escape this one easily with James. Stays with the McDonald's hoods on this end. Mitchell will try and find Watts on the down screen. He goes off 2 dribbles and can't get it to go. Gets stuck right on the rim for a second or two. That's an interesting one. Tanner's family on the live stream. I wonder if you could spell the last name phonetically. I wonder if I'm actually getting it wrong. If you want to put country of origin for the last name too, that would just be fantastic. Clear myself up a bit. I'm worried that I'm getting it wrong every week. Here we go, here's O'Sullivan. Trey looking for a quick post. Opens up a lane for O'Sullivan. Great find in the corner. This is Chive. He makes another. I'll tell you what, if you haven't bought David Chive stock yet, you're already about 3 weeks late. You need to buy some David Chive stock. It's Keane. See, I've been getting it wrong for ages. Right, sorry everybody. My German, not good. Just as Mitchell goes on the drive, throws up like a running hook. Fools everybody well, just picks up the loose ball. Here's Chive. Finds Pemberton matched up with Mitchell. Oh, nearly a nice look inside for Trey off the left hand. Rejected pick and roll. Went with the lefty bullet off the dribble. Couldn't get it to go. Just as Tanner Keane sits down with the right pronunciation of the last name. I'm so sorry. I'll never make the mistake again. Trey this time again. A little crafty curl just puts up a right-handed floater. Rockets lead 21-16. 13 seconds to go. Well on the roll. Wasn't looking for it. And the Hoods give up the last possession. 7 seconds exactly. And we are off and running with O'Sullivan. Ahead to Pemberton, tipped by Well. And that should just about do it. They will get another look at it. Trinos with the final shot. Doesn't get it to go. 21-16. The Rockets lead this one at the end of the first quarter.
It's about time you found your hands in your feet. You want to put hands together like that. It kind of makes a noise.
Coach Keane probably looking to make some adjustments. Spend some time letting his players figure out if I know him well. So yeah, end of the first quarter, 21-16. Thank you everybody for joining the live stream. I don't know what we're up to now. 45 watchers, which is really, really good for the first half. So keep doing your thing. Keep tweeting, keep retweeting, keep sharing the link, important. Thanks for everybody joining us across the globe. If you are joining us from somewhere that's not Ireland or Chicago, we've got somewhere new. I wonder if AJ's family are in the house tonight, not sure, but if we do, send me a message, interact with me. A couple of guys on the floor now. Some of the children having a quick shootout. Really good atmosphere here tonight. Sincerely appreciate everybody joining us both in the mead and on the live stream. Not sure if you can see it on the live stream. The two kids doing the shootout are absolutely tearing it up. Might want to give those guys a contract early too.
job, boys. Well done. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Please give them a clap. Great job. I've got another song for you guys. Really well done.
A nice game shaping up here. Two clearly well coached teams. Bit of pressure up the floor from both of them. Good to see this. Danny Carter back on the floor. And here is Carter, mid-block against Well. Turns to the right hand, was never going that one. Just as the next offense goes, joined by performance director Matt Johnson. Skipped over the first quarter, mate, but you're here now.
Better late than never, Mark. Better late than never.
Yeah, very good. Got ourselves a good one going here.
Yeah, we had two good games this weekend, I think. Hoping the Rockets come out of the other end of it this time, but
O'Sullivan pressured, had to pull up on the free throw line with a running jumper. First sort of bit of disjointed offense we've seen. It's been really good so far. Both teams coming out in a bit of full court pressure. Clearly well coached, and here's Watts again.
yeah, that shot to me just always looks like it's going in whenever he pulls the trigger on it.
I said earlier, he's an interesting one because of his length and speed. He's going to cause some problems probably on both ends. So he's a nice matchup for AJ defensively, who's got a number of moves in the mid-block, but Tintin's foot speed and kind of IQ will make that an interesting matchup.
Yeah, he's just such a great shooter. You can't give him an inch, Mark. You've got to make him put it on the floor. You've got to make him put it on the floor, and you've really got to work harder with him, make him be a defender as well. It's some of those things he finds difficult, but he's such a good quality player.
And here's Pemberton's first shot, front rim. Chairman Gary Johnson in the danger zone for the second time tonight. Nearly had AJ Carr, now it's Tintin Watts about to hurdle him on the front row.
Good hands there, first slip, I think, in cricket reference.
Don't do cricket in Wales, do you?
I think you'll find it's the England and Wales cricket board, Mark.
Oh, is it? Sorry. Not so good on my eclectic sport mix.
This is a great matchup, isn't it, as well, with Chive.
Yeah.
Some real quality on-ball defence. And
well, again, gets it up. That should be good to go, and it is. Beats the buzzer. And it's Carter's foul.
yeah, I mean, Well, I think his name is number 42.
Yeah.
Weller or Well, is incredibly tough. He's done a really good job early on. He plays a lot of minutes and he's asked to do a lot of things, defending in transition, offensive rebounding, and you can see why Nottingham can stay with teams as well, not just the bottom end teams. These guys are doing a great job in their first season in the top division.
Yeah, certainly look quite good here tonight. Just as we find that matchup we spoke about, AJ kicks to Pemberton, no good. Trey's missed his first couple. AJ has only taken a couple so far, so interesting how this one is shaping up. As I go pick and roll with Watson Slavic, he kicks to Well. Finds right, foul underneath.
I think that's one for the referees as well, that one. I mean, Chive's in particularly good position on ball and doesn't do anything wrong that I can see and gets called for. I think that's what you get when you're 16. I think that's the way that one comes.
Yeah. I always had this one when I was coaching where I kind of tongue-in-cheek asked the referee, did you expect him to just move out of the way? Because I actually want him to defend.
Yeah.
Bit of a tough one. O'Sullivan tries to save it with a behind the back pass. Slavic picks it up, goes to the right hook, can't get it to go, and here's Carter leading the break. Rockets have got numbers.
What a great pass. What a pass. What a pass from Carter on the run.
I'm pretty sure, I don't remember exactly, but I think Danny thinks himself as a bit of a passer.
Yeah, I just want to interrupt you on that. I don't know if we could quite see that well enough, but because Chive picks up full court and O'Sullivan, it left Weller with the ball in the mid-court, who just threw it out of bounds. I think it's something that Coach King, we've seen a bit more of this from Rockets. They're picking up early up the floor. They're putting some pressure on the guys with the ball and making other people make decisions. I think it's really good to see.
Yeah, again, it's been a quite a tidy defensive performance so far from Rockets, just as we see Carter go against Slavic again. Thought about the hook, wanted to drop it off to Carr.
Yeah.
Probably not the best option, but anyway, we're back in amongst it. Rockets lead this one by 5. It's 23-18 as they lead the Nottingham McDonald Hoods. Here's Powell. He'll go to the step back at the foul line. Front rims it. Can't get the roll this time. Carr then pressured on the rebound as well, who knocks it out of bounds.
Yeah, nod for Delaney Powell as well, Mark. When Rockets were up there, there's a bit on their live feed where Delaney Powell hits, I think, 3 threes back to back to back, and superb talent. Incredible what he can do if you don't guard him correctly. This is what we want to see now. We want to see AJ get something easy. There you go.
See, and this is why I think AJ will like that matchup, because he's got good foot speed for a guy his size.
Yeah.
Whereas Tintin will cause him more trouble because he's a bit quicker and a bit longer. Just as the right finds James inside.
Yeah, that's one that's going to absolutely frustrate Coach Keane. Double fold when we give up an easy layup and then O'Sullivan throws it behind the back to the referee. That's going to get the blood boiling a bit, I think. Needs a bit better composure from the backcourt.
Yeah, I mentioned just before you got on the stream that if you haven't bought David Chivestock yet, you're about 4 weeks too late, because he is having a really nice 3 or 4 game stretch here.
Yeah.
You know, the extra minutes because of the O'Sullivan injury has meant he's been thrust into more of a leadership role, but he's just taken it on his shoulders and he's running with it.
Yeah, and I think if you look back at yesterday's game, I think Chive struggled a little bit against some of the more senior guards in the league, guarding, Herm Signor, who's probably one of the best 2 or 3 players in this division. But I mean, he's come back, today. He's ready to go again. Never is it an issue. You never feel he's doing anything worried.
And just as Pemberton finds AJ Carr, who then just drops it off to Carter, but cannot beat the shot clock buzzer. Chive again, defending full court, nice position. Slavic now hands off to Powell, who you just mentioned, Matt, and he'll get called for the offensive foul. What's your take on that one? See, I always find that one interesting, but he doesn't really, Slavic doesn't really want to set the pick, he wants to kind of slip it and move. Do we think referees are not doing a good enough job of recognising it, or is he genuinely out of position there?
Far be it from me to comment on referees' capability.
You can online. Do I do. This is a safe place. This is a safe place.
But what I would be saying is,
Rockets turn it over again, well out back, and that will force Coach Keane into a timeout as the Hoods take a. Oh, they're still behind, 25-20.
Yeah, I think going back to that ball screen offense, and we call it an offensive foul. I think what we find really difficult to referee is when the guy goes early with the ball. So you end up in a situation where he's gone early and the screen has actually not done his job. So I think it is the right thing to call, because it tidies up that particular element, which is really prevalent at the moment. And as a defender, Sullivan does nothing wrong in that. It gets put on the back leg. So I think it's the right call to make. I think if you make it early and you make it consistently, then the players know what they're doing.
Yeah, just as we take a look at what is a packed house here tonight. Who have we got in the house behind the scorers table there? Because there's a lot of them.
So we've got Caversham Athletic Football Club. There's about 65 of them, I think, that would come today, as well as a lot of the under-10s from Rockets as well. But it's great to see the club reaching out, doing some really good work in the community, as they've always done. And fantastic to see all the supporters back again. It was a really busy game yesterday. And Bailey on the mic doing a great job, throwing out lots and lots of sweets for very overexcited children that are now going to go to bed later than perhaps their parents wanted.
So glad I left my kids at home. So yeah, I have to say it was nice to have the guys from Rebound in the house yesterday, just saying, what a great job we're doing, not only with the live stream, but of course with the kind of the live action, with the stuff off the court, which just seems to be going really well.
Yeah, and good to hear from people like that.
Just as we see Pemberton go to the crossover, he'll beat well.
You know, that's great to see.
Right.
That to me is something that coach has been working with Trey on, and I've seen it happening in practice during the week. He's got to be more than just a dead-eye shooter, and especially when teams switch on him. He's got to be able to pick up fouls. He's got to be able to attack the basket. He's got to get himself free throws and see the ball going through the rim. I think one of the things you alluded to a couple of games ago was he didn't really get enough shots. He wasn't at the line. He wasn't searching the ball out. And when you're a shooter, you need to feel the ball in your hands. So good to see him adding that to his game tonight.
Yeah, and it's interesting because he's certainly capable of it. Seems to handle the ball well enough. Coach will go to him as a second ball handler when necessary. So yeah, and I think you're probably right as well as we get into the latter end of the season as we are now, when it's playoff time. That's when he's going to need to show another adjustment. Yeah,
I think he just had about 4 or 5 games where coaches asked him to do a lot more defensively, and he's had a focus there. I think we're going to get the best of Pemberton in the last 4 or 5 games of the season. There's another high arcing 4 foot in the air jumper that looks as though it's going to break the bottom of the ring.
Yeah, another interesting one, just as we see Chive goes crossover, step back.
No way.
Nice move from the youngster. Can't get it to go.
You can see what Chive's worked really hard on is that north-south quickness rather than the east to west that you see a lot more with Pemberton.
Yeah.
You see now Chive with the north-south. As Williams knocks down the triple.
We've got ourselves a 1-point ball game, just coming to 3 minutes. Rockets have been kind of consistently up, but we're now nearly tied. And this is Chive looking for Carr. Carr gets position on.
This would be an interesting matchup here. See what. Oh, he's found Pemberton. He's found Pemberton. That's happening. They've really got in the groove with that, Mark, and I've been seeing it, and I'm not even sure if that's off the playbook or whether that is just something that they're naturally doing well together. But you see Carr in the post and Pemberton running to his side of the floor, and he's getting wide open looks.
Mitchell on the drive finds Williams, who just made one, and now he makes another one from the free throw line. Yeah, perhaps that's an instinctive read to just kind of come off that really quick curl and on AJ's side and just pull the trigger. As Donaldson goes pick and roll with Carter. Powell gets a hand in there, but it stays with the Rockets.
Little short nod as well to Luke Mitchell, Mark, as well. He's been in the system for Basketball England, played in many European Championships, been around, a fantastic young lad, and I believe he's from Nottingham area as well. Forgive me, I don't know enough about him, but it's great to see young British guys playing in the top division, and that's even better to see.
Yeah, can't complain with that. Carr makes that mid-range jumper that we're so accustomed to seeing. Delaney Powell on the drive, that's an offensive
Great
foul.
defence, Donaldson, great defence. I think that will hurt. See him puff his cheeks out.
He's been knocked back 19 feet, but he's done a good job there, Sid.
Sporting the Chris Smalling haircut as well, Mark. How's that for a reference for you?
I mean, very nice. But I'm hoping we're thinking of the same person, because if we're not, I still have no idea who he's talking.
He certainly defended as well then.
There we go, we're definitely thinking of the same person.
Just go back to my last point, we were talking about Luke Mitchell. I think when you see Rockets with Chive and Sam Grant and Adria and James Jolly and a number of these guys, it's well documented, and I think we have to do a really good job here on the stream as well as the Federation to show these guys that have come through the system, that have done a great job and are playing at a very good level right now. So let's just keep our eyes and ears open for that.
Yeah, I was just saying actually, and we'll keep this conversation going as we just get another look at you and I.
Better than yesterday then?
Yeah, apparently not the whole first half. It's important that we share this stream far and wide, and the point of it being that we've got a great product here in the NBL Division 1, and even from the finals that I saw the other day, like, this needs to be shared. It's not just a case of this is a secondary product. This is a great product, great English players, British players, should I say, and it's worth promoting. So every time somebody does share the link and share the tweets, it's going a long way, and we're getting the right people. And as I say that, I've been pioneering for about 2 months to get 50 plus people watching, and we've got 53 people watching.
53,
right now.
Boom, there you go.
So
all your moaning has started to pay off, Mark.
as I said to everybody on the stream, it's nice to see results. That is a direct effect of you sharing and liking and all the stuff that gets the stream far and wide. As Trey thought about another great look inside to Tanner.
What a pass. What a pass.
And there he is. Trey goes back, a little smile on his face.
Okay, little interesting note here with number 6, Adrinosa, who just comes on, and Alan's used him in the last 2-3 minutes of the game. Physical defender. I'm just seeing if he can make an impact, because it usually means in the second half, coach will use him a little bit more.
Yep.
One of the younger guys, but he does need to prove himself, I think. Well, you know, we've got a 6-point lead, and that can't diminish on his watch. So,
absolutely.
Interesting one.
A bit of a time to earn some more minutes in the second half.
Yeah.
Just as we saw Watts on the drive, Rockets will go back to a 2-3 zone.
Be interesting to see if they learnt yesterday, because Solent best shooters were wide open, and
here's Mitchell
again,
wide open.
That's on the side, but we didn't really want it to happen. And I'm not quite sure what the excitement is, but that is the turnover that is unacceptable.
I think that's probably, again, that it goes to Adri. There's no defined point guard on the floor, so to speak. So he can kind of get stuck
shoot
with
that three, won't he? He's going to knock that one right down.
And he nails it.
I think it's worth noting, Mark, that this is the first 2 minutes that we've gone without Chive or O'Sullivan as the main lead guard, and it puts Pemberton at the 1, which is tough. And as we say that, if you look across the court now, you will see Chive coming back in to finish this half. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know if Alan Keane heard me about Trey Pemberton being a second option on the ball, but he's got to him, and now he's subbed him out, so maybe don't listen to me. Just as Rockets lead this one, 36-29. We've got 39 seconds to go in the quarter. It got close for a minute.
I think there's a reason why you said this side of the court, Mark, and not the other one.
Yeah.
No offence.
Well, I've done some time over there. Again, maybe that is the evidence. I'm now back over here. And we're up to 63 watchers, so you guys are doing a superb job of sharing and liking.
I think Tanner's brother is on stream as well. I think that's Matt Kuhn. Good to hear. He's involved.
Keane. I asked if I'd been pronouncing it wrong, and they said, yes, you have. So I said, I'm really sorry.
Oh,
I've got the correct pronunciation. It's Keane, like Alan Keane.
Ah, right. So neither is spelt correctly, but they sound the same. Got you.
That's exactly it.
That's cleared that up. Okay, Carter back in as well with Chive.
Goes skip to Rinze in the corner. He'll fire it up.
Oh, that could go anywhere. Oh, Tanner's got it, and good board.
Rockets bench on their feet. They like that one from Tanner, keeping that one alive.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just say that this is not something we've seen enough of from the Rockets. Offensive rebounding has not been something that's been our MO. You don't need to be a chief scout to look at that one, but I would say to you that when we see that happening, there's good signs there, because that shot's not the highest percentage one. Arinze's got to shoot it, but I would say seeing people crash the boards and get on the glass for that is great, and that should be Tanner shooting that.
Tanner, so much of a gentleman, he's reluctant to shoot his own free throws.
Yeah. There was a bit of confusion yesterday with AJ and Trey as to who shoot the free throws.
Is that just because they both wanted them?
I think so.
So Arinze forces a shot. Rockets had time for a 2-for-1, not really strategically planned out, as Tanner misses both, and now Nottingham can hold for the last shot here.
Into the last 20 seconds. Interesting to see that. I'm imagining they're going to try and find Tintin on some way, or Delaney Powell pulls up and buries that three.
Nails it early in the shot clock, so Rockets will get 10 seconds to look at it. We're down to 6. Chive will have to put this up himself unless he finds somebody. He goes to the rim.
Oh, he's gone left. He's made it on the buzzer. Wow.
Goodness, what a great finish. David Chive goes left, lefty runner, puts it up off the backboard, gets it to go. Rockets lead this one 38-34. what a great first half we've had.
Yeah.
I mean, both teams doing well defensively, just as the Rockets head to the locker room. We're going to have probably about a 15-minute break before we get back into this one. So, as I say, Rockets lead 38-34. It's been a really interesting game. Both teams with a full court pressure. Both teams shooting it well. I imagine we'll get some stats at half-time that will reflect that.
Yeah, and I think we'll probably be slightly disappointed giving up some of the cheap stuff at the end. Just some of the things that I think Rockets can do a little bit better in the last sort of 5-6 seconds of their defence. Is certainly a better Rockets defensive team now. Holding any team to 34 in this division is good. Particularly Nottingham, and holding Tintin as well, who's a really talented scorer. But we've got to make sure that works out for the full shot clock as well in the second half.
Yeah, so I'll find out what the scoring looks like at half-time. I imagine it'll be fairly evenly distributed. I'm going to take a short break with Matt here. We'll be back in about 15 minutes as 10,000 children invade the court for the half-time festivities. Please come back. Numbers were up above 70. Amazing amount of watchers. Please come back. We'll be back in 15 minutes and we will see you all soon.
Outside, this is the 3-point line. You haven't got to shoot from here, but you've got to stand outside of there. One at a time, we're going to go. And the adults are going to be on this side of the floor. Okay, you got it to the top. Maybe you got one ball for the adults. Not yours. Not yours? Thank you. Or just the floor. We're going back in. Good try. This young man, race up, look at that. Start up, oh, good try. Time for another. Everybody go boom. Oh. Another Barcelona band, off you go. Oh, there we go. Really good shot, really good shot. This guy can play, he's got a ringer, he's not put a football down. Oh, he's done, oh, he went for a tricky shot there. Try that for a goal. Good luck, you don't have to go yet. Give me the ball. Here you go. Oh, really, good try, buddy. Good try. Have you got another arrow ready to have you go? Come on, guys, come on, from the to draw. Have you got another arrow ready for a go? Have you all right to go? You're too good. Come on. Oh. Yes. Great try. Guys, if you see the player doing it out, it makes it easier if you go off the side and to the corner. Give that a try. Come on, have a go. There you go! Good job, good job! We've got a running back here, ready to place the win. He's struggling there, no next to the back. Off the glass, great job, great job! Here we go, next one ready. Great try, great try. Everybody out, let me go now. Here we go, let's go, let's go smart. Oh, a little bit of line. Let's go from the side, let's go from the side. Yes! Go, young man. Oh, lots of height on that one, not quite the direction. I'll see you up there. You never know, buddy. Oh, following, great job. You want to go? We haven't got loads of time, so let everybody an opportunity next time, go for it. Oh. We don't have to go here for a while. Okay, here you go, boy. I'll have the line in wide and power. Yes. There we go. Great job, great job. Is there any other parents adults who would like to go? Okay, on we go. Got to go over first, yeah? Good try. You better go, you cheeky man, really. So yeah, stop it. Oh, it's got all lovely. Good job, good job. Anyone else? That's great. Yes, that's good. Oh, lovely. Well done, good job. Great try, great try. I think this gentleman here is just a top man, helping me out. He's going to show you guys how to do it. Okay, what's up, guys? You want to do anything? Mike, we had to go out and get great at before. From about half right. So this time, yeah. Up we go, right? Here we go. Oh, he's got one, two of them to see it. Great effort, well done, boys. We've got 24 hours for us to make it run up in the second half.
Okay. Minute to go before the second half begins. We are back on live stream. Well, I'm back on the live stream. Hopefully, some people have just stayed with us for 15 minutes. Rockets lead this one 38-34. Matt Johnson back joining us shortly. Good number of people who have stuck around. Appreciate the engagement, Billy, and thanks for the subscribe as well. We're rebuilding out part of this YouTube channel. I think it's been a little bit neglected over the years. I think the plan is to try and get some of the newer content up there now for a bit. Plan of a bit of a rebrand and relaunch come the start of next season, where we should have a few more things on there. Yeah, if you are from the Nottingham McDonald's Hoods, give us a shout. I'm always interested to know how many of the visiting team support we've got tuning into the live stream. So if you are from Nottingham and you don't necessarily have to be in Nottingham currently, but if you're a Nottingham Hoods supporter, follower, fan, let us know via the chat. Be good to know how many of you there are, and that this live stream is bringing you some value if you weren't able to make the game today. Layla Bug, Hoods Army. They got a bit of work to do. Down 4 at the moment, but this has been a great game. They are very much in this one. Matt Johnson currently eyeing up stats, so I'll go to him in a minute for a bit of an update on what's going on, just as Nottingham get us back underway. And this is Mitchell down the middle, finds Delaney Powell. He goes to his left, step back, nothing doing. Right with the pull-up, no good. What's standing out for you, Matt?
Just have a quick look.
Great look from Trey Pemberton, sorry. Just as you were talking, Trey threads the needle with a right-handed bounce pass off the dribble, finds AJ Carr in transition. Sorry, Matt, back to you.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, I think we need to keep an eye on David Watts in this half. I think he's come back to where things started, and we now got he's only got 4 points, and that's rare for him. I think we've got to keep a really good eye on him. If he comes out of the game with single figures, I think Rockets have got a really good chance to win this game. And I think we need to see AJ Carr now, which is ironic when you were saying it early on.
And Trey Pemberton.
He just drills an assist to Trey. And this looks a little bit more like an offensive balance that I thought we were going to see earlier on. I think AJ needs to find his way early on in this half see the ball going through the rim, and make some passes. I think if we see that, we're going to see AJ is going to be a really vital piece in this group. Just watching him defend as well, he's a completely different defender now than we've seen before.
Yeah, I think
as you see him get on the floor, Mark, look at that.
Just so good to see, isn't it? You know, when one of your leading scorers and top guys is the first on the floor. You know, you've got a lot of time for that. Yeah, I think I was saying at the end of the first half that I imagine the attack was pretty balanced from Rockets. I'm assuming from what you're saying that's true.
Yeah, I mean, Pemberton has 12 in the first half. AJ came out with 7, and then Chive with 10.
Did Trey really have 12?
Yeah, he had 12 on 5 of 7.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's an efficient 12.
Yeah, and again, only took 2 free throws. So that's the other side to his game that we're going to see, I think, developing. We're going to see Coach putting him in situations which are much better for him to get to the line. And if you see that entire system is getting Trey an open corner 3. Great pass.
Powell on the run-out, left-handed layup makes it. Yeah, you saw plenty of movement from Sid and Trey, just looking at a different variety of flares and down screens to see what they can get.
Yeah, and I think once you start seeing that happen, we're going to start. Now you've got Carter inside with a mismatch against Kieran Wright, and AJ's really annoyed with himself for that. That should have been bucket for Carter +1 or at least 2 on the break, and now it's a 7-point game with Nottingham ball, and AJ defended perimeter and just did one heck of a job then, just diving in, and Coach Keen's been asking them to be doing more than just your guy. Defend 1.5 guys. You'll hear him talking about that. We've got an early sub here. DC going out, maybe took a bit of a knock. Yep, we've got a slight hobble there from DC.
Has been plagued by a bit of a ongoing back injury.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's a bit of a twinge to that.
Yeah.
Appreciate everyone leaving comments. I will get to all the comments shortly when there's a bit of a break in play. Just going to siphon through some of these now.
Yeah,
Glenn Richardson tuning in from the South Coast. Worthing have a day off, so they're tuned in. Appreciate that. This is a great one. Ben Fluke wrote to me. All right, Flukey. Haven't seen you since you're about 12 years old or something, but nice to see how far this goes. I did actually see you between. You were playing for a Welsh team who I don't know who it was at the time. I haven't seen you for a while, but I hope you're doing well, buddy.
Good to see some names. That Millfield camp has certainly...
it's got some alumni, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's produced some players, isn't it?
Just as Well goes up. Again, been forced on the board. Nice high hands from him, keeps the ball alive. Good work. And while there's a little break, there's Well on the free throw line, and you can see him now. Again, like you said, Matt, bit of a jack of all trades, does a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with him. I haven't seen him much in person the last few years, but he's doing the sort of things that, you know, he'll be told he's a glue guy and all those other words that really don't give his skill level. Oh, what a move.
Just as Sid goes in and out with the left to the crossover. Scoop with the left hand. Nice move from Sidney Donaldson.
Sid's got that going yesterday as well against Solent. He didn't shoot the ball well from the perimeter, but really got to the rack. And the Donaldson that went...
And there's Well again.
Yeah. The Donaldson that was at... when we were away in Newcastle, and he ended up with 30. He did exactly what he's doing today, got to the rim, but he also shot the ball really well from the perimeter when guys stood off him. So,
just as Kieran Wright with the steal, foul by O'Sullivan, and 1.
Yeah, this is a really difficult call, and I was speaking to Richard Stokes, who's been here to assess the referees, and I've spoken to him before, and it's really tough with 2 referees when there's a steal at half court to get really good vision on whether actually the player, and you can see immediately O'Sullivan says, I've got all ball. Yeah, players aren't known for telling the truth here, but equally it's really tough for them to get that bit right. The most frustrating thing is you lose the ball at half court with the guy reaching around your back, and then suddenly you get caught for an and 1 as well. So your day's just got a little bit worse than it was 2 seconds before.
Absolutely, and it's again stalling a bit this offense here. Just as Arinze picks it up and puts his head down and goes to the rim.
Yeah.
Again, nice from Arinze.
This is an interesting one. This is Rocket's small lineup now, with Arinze at the 4 and just getting rebounded.
And as well again.
Yeah, this is. I think you're going to see Tanner Kuhn come in soon, or you're going to see Coach go with some size.
Yeah, tough one for Arinze. Arinze, a good defender, also a very good rebounder for his size,
yeah.
Especially on the offensive glass. But he's a strong guy, got plenty of skill, nice touch.
Yeah.
As you say, he can do a bit of everything.
Yeah, Carter goes out, doesn't he? And then suddenly, gets 2 easy ones under the rim. I think one of the other things you're going to see is you've seen where Arinze is playing small 4. The previous possession, he catches on the 3-point line, 1 dribble, goes by 2 guys and lays it up off the glass. And that's the advantage of him. And then the other end is the slight tough matchup that he's going to have against guys that are maybe in the 6'7", 6'8" category. So that is certainly something that we can keep an eye out for and see how Coach Keenan. I think you'd have just seen O'Sullivan there, and you'd have seen Adrian O'Sullivan looking to come backdoor to steal that and just missed it.
So we've just seen Alan Keane in the timeout. What do you think he's saying to the guys now? You know, the Hood's hanging tough, still 4-point lead, 6 minutes to go. What do you think Coach is saying?
I think one of the things he's going to say is that the Hoods haven't fouled in 5 minutes. And he's going to say to them that if we need to be more aggressive going at the basket. We shoot the ball well from the perimeter, but I think he's going to see us put the ball on the rim, get the ball inside, and do some stuff from the inside out. I think we're going to see that first.
Yeah, good points. We've seen it a couple of times in the last minute or so. Sid goes to the rim untouched. Arinze does the same thing, so perhaps he wants to, a bit more off the bounce, put some pressure on the Hood's defence a bit.
Interesting, no subs as well, so we thought maybe go with some bigger inside presence, but right now we're playing offensively with scoring, so maybe it's just timeout on the defense. Just be interested in the next few possessions, because Hoods are pretty big now with Slavic at 5 and Well at 4, and then they've got Delaney Powell as 3, so they've switched now against Pemberton.
That's the move, nice look inside. Yeah. Finds the cutting Carr. AJ now goes to the 3 and makes it. AJ Carr.
If he gets this going, it could be a difference maker, because this is a small lineup for Rockets, so that puts Slavic and Well on the perimeter, and Carr's just made 2 threes. This is where things are going to be difficult.
Well, again,
right there.
Patience, just holds, takes his time, waits for the gap, puts it up and in.
Yeah.
And he's pacing him in this third quarter, keeping the Hoods hanging tough.
Well, he had 10 in the first half, Mark. Pemberton, another one.
And perhaps, I was just going to say this, Matt, actually, perhaps Coach Keane is feeling more confident offensively than he is defensively, right? He's got Slavic and Well that have to guard the AJ Carr and Arinze, any switching, and Rockets have got a big advantage, so perhaps he favours his offence more than he worries about the defence now. Just we see Well again, he's just flying through O'Sullivan, offensive foul.
I think what if you'd have seen that 4 seconds earlier, what you're going to have seen is AJ fronting and being much more active defending on the bigs, which forces Well to come outside and put it on the floor. Now we're in position to help, rather than the ball just going inside, us playing size against size where we're mismatched. So I think that might have been what the timeout was. If it wasn't, it's something that AJ's worked on, and we've now got a really interesting ball game. And this could now, if Rockets can keep scoring and they can solve that defensive matchup. Well's just gone out, interestingly, replaced by Tintin.
Just as Trey tries to spin off Powell, who's dogging him. Lefty pass finds O'Sullivan, doesn't get it to go.
Yeah, that's a good shot for O'Sullivan, Mark, and I like to see that. I'd like to see him take more of those. He only took 1 in the first half. He shot the ball really well yesterday when called upon, and I think that's something that with this lineup, with Pemberton with the ball, then the opposite side of the wing should still have Carr on it, and it should also have O'Sullivan. So let's see how this next 3 or 4 minutes plays out.
Yeah, 7 point ball game here, just under 4. This is, if I can say this, the most experienced Rockets lineup they've got, just as Kieran Wright gets one to go. But this is all the senior guys.
Yeah, and that one is going to frustrate Coach Keane as well, because you've got the best shooter that they have. Oh, that's...
Just as Danny tries to go left, he's bumped by Slavic for the foul.
Yeah, I think just rewinding that last play, I wish you could do that, Mark, because I'd like to have seen Kieran Wright with Slavic in that ball screen, because he's such a good shooter. Trey needs to stay over the top of that and really squeeze him into the bigs. But he stayed. DC stayed too low on that as well. Pemberton gets another one off. Oh, wow.
Good Lord.
He is in the groove now.
He's one of these funny shooters too, where he doesn't hit the rim very often. There's not, he's not getting a lot of in and outs and then in again. It's all string, just as Tintin Watts dials his own number.
Yeah, and as I said to you, I think we were waiting to see where that comes from and see if Tintin feels, if he makes another couple of these.
Carter on the drive, great footwork, just extends his 2 steps out. Don't talk to me about gather step because I'm not there yet.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I wasn't expecting it.
Good.
Good defence.
Delaney Powell to the spin. Carter across for help, just swats that one out of bounds.
I mean, the shooting percentages in this game, it just feels like they're very, very high. And we'll get some numbers to you at the end of the next quarter. But I think, Mark, from my perspective, when you see guys rising up and making shots like this, this tells you about the quality of this division.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've just seen about 6 threes out of about 9 attempts. And still, we're seeing teams have to adjust. There's another one from Mitchell. Oddly misses. And
Back rims that one.
Yeah, and looked like a good one as well. That was the play they wanted. That's what they were running for Luke Mitchell to come out. So expect to see that again maybe in the fourth quarter.
2.5 to go. Our friends over at Worthing have just shared the live stream on their Facebook page. Guys, it means absolutely tons to us, so thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
Really does mean a lot to kind of
what a great
keep
pass.
Everything.
Oh, he's missed it.
Keep sharing the quality in this league. Just as easy, Danny fighting underneath, can't get it to go.
That's frustrating for him.
2 gimmies and he misses them both.
Yeah.
Just as Sid on the chase. Great hustle back from Sydney Donaldson. Gets the little tap.
3 on 2.
Other end.
Got Pemberton. Danny's not going to miss that one.
There we go. Sydney Donaldson hustles on one end, sprints the floor on the other, opens it up for Danny Carter. Great play from Sydney Donaldson.
And I'm going to say as well, for any younger players that know Sydney, I think that gives you a little bit of a flavour as why they say never give up on the play.
Yep.
Sid was beaten, was probably 2 metres negative in behind, and he comes back. That's great defence.
I think this will...
No, foul called, I think.
Oh, it is a foul call.
On 4. Was that on O'Sullivan?
Didn't quite hear who that was on.
Okay.
Just as we see Coach Keane talking with the referees. Coach Thorne over there as well. I think he's pleading the case that this should have just been a no call and it would have been Rockets ball, but...
Yeah. I think it's worth saying as well, I think coaches get a pretty bad rap at the moment with getting on refs and things like that. And I've watched Coach Keane now in 2 games straight, and the way that he's communicating is much, much like a pro person should communicate with another professional. And I think whatever we think about, our opinion or whatever else, it's really good to see that Pemberton's wide open again. Oof. Everyone in the gym thought that was going the
that one was down. It was halfway down as well.
Yeah.
Just as Mitchell finds Powell, he finds Watts. He'll go to the foul line to the pull-up. Yeah, no good.
The best thing about that is the Rockets got him off that spot, and that's the most important thing. You can't let Tintin catch and shoot on the spot he catches it on.
Yep. Gamble here from the Hoods. Donaldson.
Can he make this one?
Yes,
he can.
He does. 3-point.
That's a big bucket. That's a big bucket, not just for the group to put us double digits in the last 30 seconds, but also for Sid. That's the 4th guy on Rockets to now make an open 3 when he's got it.
Same thing again. Chased off the 3-point line and just walks in though.
Yeah.
I was about to say they'll have Coach Keane pulling his hair out, but I don't want anyone to comment on that.
Yeah, that's an easy one, that is. But, you know, his credit to Tin, that he's such a good guy that actually I quite enjoyed the fact that went in.
Yeah, you would have seen on the live stream Chairman Gary Johnson.
Yeah, he's going to make that one as well.
Of course he is. Honouring Tintin for many of the years that he gave to Reading and the work he did within the community. Tell us about that for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, no, I will do. It doesn't do him service to say in a couple of minutes, because if anyone out there from Nottingham, they'll know how well he's liked in every community environment he's ever been in. But one thing I don't think anyone knows is the academy now in Reading at John Madacey School was fronted by myself and Tintin at the very beginning. And I'll be honest with you, the kids preferred him than me. They came to play basketball because he was so infectious with the love of this sport. And I don't think they should ever be undersold that it's not what you say or how you say it, it's how you make other people feel. And I think that I read that on some Twitter cast recently, and it just rang bells at me for people like Tintin, Mark. He makes everyone feel like this sport is a wonderful thing to be a part of. And there's still a young man who's not here today, but he does the statistics for us, called Dan Bell, and he was in a real tough place when he met Tintin, and now he's working in the community. He's got a great job working in a gym, and I think he would probably tell you even now, maybe 10 years later, how important one individual is. And I think that gets missed a lot, but Tintin is an incredibly important person to this sport. He's played at all levels of the sport. He's come through fantastic junior coaching with Curtis Xavier and that gang up there, and Dougie. So, when they had the very first academies as well, and I think people may not know that, and it's worth sitting down and asking Tintin or get him on social media. He's always happy to talk. He'll love me for saying this, but I think as people like that go out of our game, I'm not sure there's many more of him around, Mark. So I think it is worth us talking about him, and I was really impressed with the chairman's words about him, and I thought I hope everyone does that, because he's been a real ambassador for this sport.
Yeah, agreed. I've had the pleasure of spending a bit of time with him over the years. What this basketball community does, you end up just socialising with the same good people in the same good places. So, plenty of time spent with him, and I'll probably have a catch up with him after the game.
Yeah, I was just going to mention Julie Grant as well. Thanks for dialing our number. I saw Julie about 4 hours ago at JMA, and she's now back home with a well-earned glass of wine after the under-18s without Chive. Actually, under-18s had a cracking game against Solent. 4 down with 4 minutes to go, and they got a 6-point win there. With some really good youth basketball to see, Mark. It was really good, and many of those are involved today as well. So
yeah, good stuff. Tintin goes to the one dribble pull up.
Tintin quite right in looking at the
foul. Yeah,
AJ Carr fell over him and pushed him. So I shouldn't be too much on Tintin's side, but he's going to have a word with the ref now and just say, I think perhaps you missed that, referee, please.
Especially when you get a touch foul on this end.
Yeah.
From Powell and Carr.
Yeah.
Frustrating, but anyway, just as you paid really good tribute to Tintin there. We're just joining the action again. 9-point lead for the Rockets going into the final quarter. 9:33 to go.
Yeah.
This has, the propensity to go one or two ways, isn't it? Either blows open, or we get a nice run into the end of the game.
Yeah, and I think if AJ shoots more of those, this is going to be a close one. Yeah. That's not the shot you want coming out of that 2-minute break.
Keane into the game. Thanos goes off the dribble.
Yeah, referees have let 2 things go for Nottingham, and I think that's going to be frustrating for them. And then that happens.
And here's Tintin again, as you can see, just speaking to the referee now.
Yeah,
and I think he's probably saying just that we've had 2 chippies on this end and 2 no calls on the other. So
yeah, and in the spirit of the game as well, he holds his hand out and says, sorry ref, but you're asking the right questions. I think that's a great example that we see a lot of negative connotations of players in other sports not speaking to officials well. I think we've got to get more of this on camera, Mark.
And this is Carr against Kieran Wright. And there's another foul call. So that'll be 3 quick ones for Nottingham, which when you're already down 9, and you and I know what it's like, if they get into the penalty early, this is going to be a long old slog to get back into this one.
Yeah, no, disappointing for Nottingham. They had one foul, I think, in the last quarter.
Yeah, well, it was completely the other way. Yeah, absolutely.
And now 3 in seconds.
Chive on the baseline, being patient. Little fade, doesn't get it. Sydney tracks the ball well. Needs to go straight back up. He's fouled by James.
He's going to shoot a pair now.
And that's another foul, like you say. Don't want to predict it and sound like this could be more difficult for the Hoods, but it will be. If they get into foul trouble in the first 2 minutes, this will be a tricky one.
Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it, Mark? We talked about, Rockets getting to the foul line better, doing that, and now, without Pemberton in, and they are all over, getting over the rim. They've drawn 4 fouls in a minute and a half. So, that shows that there's 2 sides to this Rockets team. They can do some of those things really aggressively. It's seeing if they can defend now. And Tanner got caught up in a back screen there. Sid. Oh, what a move.
Again.
What
so good. So good on the run out there.
Yeah, I've seen Sydney, and I love this expression that I've heard about him going downhill. I think you really see the momentum there, and it's so difficult to defend that, Mark, as well. It's great to see him doing that, and that's one of the things that he has. I think he's doing that as well as anyone I've seen in the league at the minute. There's a few guys that are doing it, but his timing and the way he gets the ball out from his feet and the moment he picks it up seems to be absolutely right. And obviously from an incredibly big basketball family. In fact, I was watching 1980s BBL and seeing Sid's dad playing for Leicester, Dip Donaldson, the great Dip Donaldson as well, playing in, I think it might be in Wembley Arena or the Royal Albert Hall.
Amazing.
It's incredible to see, and great to see him representing us here now.
That's another topic for another day, that one, isn't it? But the lack of kind of historical context around just quite how deep basketball culture goes in the UK.
Yeah.
We probably need a panel show, you and I. I'll host because I'm not nearly well versed enough. Anyway, this is what AJ gambles, doesn't get it.
Tintin's desperate for a shot here, isn't he?
And he just won't get it to go again. But again, there's guys hanging off him.
Yeah.
And even if there's not the contact there, you'd expect at the foul count of 5-0 so far to maybe get one.
We haven't mentioned the irony of Tintin being sponsored by McDonald's, by the way. But equally, I think on a more serious note, when you're his quality and the way that he shoots, he needs to be protected. It's a technical foul
and
against Tintin. Just as we talk about how well he manages the referees, I think there's one comment too many, but I'm kind of with him on it, Mark. I think it's been difficult. He's been up in the air twice and had contact on him. And that can be really dangerous. O'Sullivan was out for 7 weeks in Derby, landing on somebody's foot, in these sorts of things.
I like to go out on a limb here, and I will do. He's got himself a technical foul. I guarantee you in the next minute it will repay itself. The referees will now, I shouldn't say this if I think they're going to tactically referee this game, but it will balance up. It's probably a well-timed technical that. He's not shouting, he's not screaming.
Yeah.
He's apologised just now. I think this will even up.
Yeah. I think you're right. Well, let's see. It's 5 fouls to zip, and Coach Keane comes back with Pemberton, and Carr is getting himself going.
And there's an offensive foul.
I think that's.
Mark,
I think you can have that one
in
your locker.
Very much.
Pleasure.
Anyway, so now we're seeing this even up a bit. Let's just get back to the score quickly. It's Rockets that lead this by 12. 7:39 to go in the quarter. Plenty of people watching on the live stream, which is really, really appreciated. We do have a good finish coming here, I think. Who really paced Nottingham in the first in the third
Here we
quarter.
Go again. There's another one for you.
There's another call.
Loose ball and foul called.
Against.
I think this is incredibly frustrating. When you can see this back as well. And Coach Keane is rightly saying to him, you're now just balancing this game up, which is exactly what you shouldn't do. You either make the right call or you don't. Fine, if you're world level, you need to balance it up.
Tintin going really deep. He's probably 4 feet back. Huge shot. Like you said, he's wanting to get one to go, but that will be big to try and keep.
Yeah, and you'll also see how...
And this is not the guy you want open right afterwards.
Yeah, right. I want you to see if you can... have an eye on how they defend Pemberton, and how arms around waists is certainly not the way that it should ever be. There we go. There's another one. So that's 3-0. This is... I
should say, I mean, it's fortunate that Trey makes the 3 there. I think Alan would be more frustrated at this call if he doesn't, because then it's a 9-point game back to 6, and it all just doesn't flow quite as well.
Interesting now, Mark. Arinze brought in to defend Tin, and look at that.
Yep, Arinze, good defender, good length.
Yeah.
Just as James gets inside.
Coach won't
right
be too
finish.
unhappy with that. What you don't want is Tintin coming at you in the last few minutes after having a load of easy jumpers.
Yep.
That's not what you want.
Sydney tries for the extra step, fumbles it, he'll get it back.
To go.
Nothing doing there, still no touch on the rim. Great five.
Wow.
And the youngsters getting it done. Chive on the offensive glass, a little shovel pass inside, finds Arinze for the finish, and 1.
Yeah, no, I think more praise heaped on Arinze as an individual defence on that one. You've got Tintin, who's made a 26-footer. Coach subs you in straight away, go and guard that guy. 18 years old, go and guard that guy. One of the best shooters in the league, go and guard him. And he does a pretty sterling job.
Arinze on the foul line makes it.
Yeah.
3 points the old-fashioned way.
Interesting matchups now. This is pretty even matchups, I say now. Arinze against Tintin will be interesting. And he's nearly out of bounds as well.
But here's the interesting...
Away. Chive's chasing this one down.
He'll take it too.
Yeah, what a great pass.
There we go! Arinze sails in for the two-handed jam, and that's a technical foul.
No timeout, Coach.
No timeout, thank goodness. I was about to...
10 years too late.
Yep, I was about to leave.
Yep.
I was just about to say, as we just see the teams walk to the bench, Rockets bench on their feet, they're happy now, they've opened this one up a little bit. Yep. I was about to say, Arinze doing a nice job on Tintin, but it all comes from Chive putting pressure all over Luke Mitchell, and they just don't get a good angle. He's throwing a 15-foot pass from nearly the halfway line, and it doesn't get there, and of course that breaks it down. But it's trying to give Chive the credit for what he's done. So I think we're just under 6 to go. Just taking a look. Oh, it's you and I.
Hello.
Yeah, 6 minutes to go. Rockets have opened this one up to a 15-point ball game. Do you see this going any other way, or can the Hoods get back into this?
I'm going to say after yesterday, I don't think it's going to swing back. And I hope I'm not caught out by that. I just think we're seeing a bit of a result from yesterday's frustration. Rockets missed a bunch of easy shots yesterday against Solar and left open Chris Scarlett and a couple of guys. I think there's some guys out there learning and showing that they're capable of playing at a higher level. So last 6 minutes, I'm hoping this gets a even bigger lead.
Just as you cut back to me having a cup of tea, that was not ideal timing. Sorry about that.
As usual.
Yeah, see.
Okay, so we've got the same matchups.
Interesting for the Hood.
Chasing. You see the difference in Chive?
Yeah. Just as well, goes on a curl, gets inside, and he's fouled. That's probably the first genuine one.
Yeah.
I will say this, Matt, just you were talking matchups. No Delaney Powell.
Yeah.
No Kieran Wright.
Yeah, interesting.
Not sure if that's a case of, I don't want to say throwing in the towel, but
you have.
But I've just said that, so it might be.
I can't see them finishing the game without those two.
Yep.
I think we may have not seen the best of them. I think that, but equally, you now got a perimeter for Hoods with only one real shooter in Luke Mitchell, and then Tintin now at the 4. So it might be their favoured lineup, but I would imagine that Delaney or Kieran Wright they're going to need to make some shots in the last 6 minutes here.
Just to see a little bit of token pressure up the floor. Chive to Arinze. Will hand off to Sid. Reverses through AJ.
I'm going to get a name wrong, but what a pass. Number 1, Traianos, is Greek, I think, and was previously playing BBL. I think he was in Manchester. but they've certainly got experience as
Tintin again.
Absolutely flushes one.
Right in AJ Carr's
And that's
face.
his 4th foul, I think. So
See, this is, for me, I think this has got
5th.
I think this has got some life, you know. I think
Yeah.
it's got some life.
Yeah.
I wonder if that will, you know, if Tin makes this, you're at 9. Does that get Kieran Wright and Delaney Powell off the bench? You know, single-digit margin.
Yeah, I think so. And I think we'll give you a little bit of credit, Mark, because that's a 4-0 foul call now in the last 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes.
Listen, I don't want to say I've done it before, but
Yep.
just as we get a couple of shots of a packed house here at Rivermead,
Yep.
the kids are in force, they're having a great time, and they've been treated to a good game tonight. It's worked well. There's our guy Bailey on the mic, chucking out more pure sugar.
Yeah, Sunday night sugar rush for parents when they get home.
Remember, bring your kids down.
Yeah,
They'll be up
definitely.
for hours afterwards.
Yeah, Mark, we've also got a group from Windsor Mencap as well.
Brilliant.
And great to see those guys in. They're in the corner, in the back right. And it's really good to see there's lots of different community groups now coming in and going away saying they're really enjoying themselves. And that's something that we're very proud of. That this should feel like you can bring your family here.
Absolutely.
And, you know, your kids can run around and you know, enjoy it. And it's not just sit silently and watch. You know, it's something that's really important as Tintin goes back to the line now to almost certainly make this free throw.
There's a thing called Commentators Curse, mate, and we'll see if it actually works now.
Definitely won't today.
I can only think that it's your strength that you're not actually a commentator.
Yeah,
that it doesn't work.
As I told
See, it doesn't
you.
work. Doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
If I'd said it.
Yeah.
Right, just joking. Here we go. Just over 5 to go. 9-point ball game. Single-digit margin. And this is Arinze, and he blows the dunk. Fake handoff from Arinze, wide open jam, just misses it. And this could cut it to 6, maybe 7.
You did see the benefit of Arinze then, playing as the 4, put it on the floor in the handoff.
Yeah, just as we see James on the drive, finds well.
What a finish.
He's been impressive. For a guy that, as you say, might be referred to as a glue guy or something like that, just as Chive goes in and he blows a layup, and this one could get interesting.
A little bit of immaturity, I think, there when we get this to 7. It's gone to 7, and then we rush an early layup that comes out.
And here's Mitchell, pick and roll with Tit. Great defence by Arinze, and snags his own turnover.
Transition. Chive with what looks like a blooded nose. Oh, Trey goes through about 4 guys.
He was just in a bit of a collision there with Trayanos.
Trey and Trayanos. Well done.
That's why Chive has got a bloody nose. It was on the other end of play before.
Yeah.
I think
he went to the basket. I think he missed it and got tangled up.
Yeah, that was it. I think.
I think loose hand or something like that. It's
looked pretty innocuous, but
yeah, incredibly tough young man. Okay, important free throws actually for Sid.
Yep.
Because as you said, 4 minutes ago is a long time to go. Any mini runs here by Hoods, and this could get down to the last possessions. Any mini runs by Rockets, and this game could be done in the next 2 minutes.
Well, yeah, prior to that free throw, it's a 7-point ball game. So it certainly got interesting. I hope you didn't leave the live stream early, because we might have an interesting finish. Just as Sid misses that one, gets his own board, puts it up with the right hand and gets it to go. Huge play from...
This is an important game from Sid, Mark. This is an important game. I think what you see in him, we don't see a lot of that in the younger guys and the junior guys at the moment. I think that's something we're going to look at. Both teams in the penalty now, and there's a lot of ball pressure. Interesting, O'Sullivan covering Sid now.
Just as Carter and Carr combine for a big block underneath the rim.
You've got to be able to do something with those two names, surely, Mark.
Yeah. I'm not going to try now.
I've just
going to embarrass myself.
Melted your brain.
Yeah, I'm going to embarrass myself. It's not worth it.
Okay, let's see what we got here. We've got Mitchell and Trayanos wide open. Misses it. I couldn't tell you if that's a good shot for him or not.
Sid to O'Sullivan.
Good decision.
Takes his time. AJ underneath.
Yeah, important.
In the right hand. Good work by Adrian O'Sullivan to just take his time, bit of patience.
I think you saw the difference in just a couple of years maturity in that one and what we saw last time. Tin's got one close. Danny runs him off it. Oh, wow, that's a foul. Well, with another one.
Yeah, he's been really useful.
We've got AJ, who's in the block against Size. He's got Size against Luke Mitchell. Oh, another turnover on the weak side. 10-point game.
Well, that'll be a block if they call it. Tin on the follow, puts it up. He's fouled again. And there we go. And we're down to 8.
Sid takes on square on the chest. No call. Maybe he's in the no charge zone. Maybe. I don't know about that. I couldn't see it without a replay, but it certainly looked as though he takes it on the chest.
But here we go again. We're going to talk about it. 8-point ball game. Free throw from Tin to go. He's on the foul line now.
Yep.
If he makes this and they get another stop, it gets interesting again. Plenty of time in it.
Yeah, I doesn't even look like it's going to touch the ring, does it?
It hasn't done much so far.
7-point game. Important 2 minutes here, Mark.
Delaney Powell back off the bench, and here we go. This is O'Sullivan.
It looks as though Kieran Wright's going to stay out, so maybe there's an injury in there. Maybe coach has got this group that he likes as well.
And here's AJ, finds Donaldson foul line, gets Mitchell to bite on the pump fake. Nice.
It's a good pass. It's short. Guess who gets it? Oh.
And it goes the other way.
Donaldson
Tough call.
Gets both hands on it.
Tough call there. As we go to 2:20, 7-point ball game. If we can have a last push to share the stream, share this last 2 minutes with everybody, it might be a good one. It looks like it could be. If they get a score here, it really will.
Yeah, we're over 90 now viewers. And that's just
as
too
James
easy.
gets inside, he's not the guy you want to see going off the dribble one touch. And now we have 5-point ball game.
Yeah.
Just under 2 minutes to go.
And I think Coach Keane's going to be asking questions of Pemberton on that one-on-one defence because that's just too easy.
Carter finds O'Sullivan backdoor, forces one up, doesn't get it to go. Tintin tries to save it, does, just going towards Well. O'Sullivan dives on it. Well picks it up. He's taken a knock on the way.
Oh dear.
I'm not sure where he's...
I have no idea what's happened there. You see that, Mark?
I didn't see it well. Just having a look now on the monitor. I'm going to assume face. I don't know, though. O'Sullivan slid, really dived in. Don't think... There's clearly nothing malicious in it. And Well, picked up the ball, had good hand on it. But he's still down. Looks in a lot of pain.
Yeah. I think he's holding his elbow. Declan Dowling, resident physio, is got his eyes on it.
And he's up.
He's up, yeah.
Oh,
okay,
left
elbow.
I wonder if he's just gone funny bone. Maybe it's O'Sullivan diving in, catches one on the elbow.
And I'm pretty sure that's not a medical term either, funny bone.
I'm pretty sure it was in my GCSE exam.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. What bone is this? Funny. So here we go. Appreciate everybody still sticking with us in the comments. Laying the bug. You've been commenting loads. Really appreciate it. 1:30 to go. 5-point ball game.
Yeah.
Mitchell finds Tintin. Pulls up.
What a rebound.
And that's James in a rebound. Keeps it alive and it will stay with the Nottingham McDonald's Hoods.
Yeah. Good to see that. Delaney helping O'Sullivan off the floor. 2 guys on the opposite team. We like to see that.
And here we go again.
Now against AJ. Interesting. Good matchup here. AJ riding with 4 fouls as well. Carter inside. He snaffled that. Oh, dear.
Not the time to pick up any silly fouls after this one. Probably not.
just
sure it's the right call. But
as we said, Mark, Hoods had 5 team fouls after a minute and have not fouled again since in the last 8.5.
Yeah, it's been an interesting one from that side of things.
Yep.
Well, straight down the middle and makes it 4-point ball game.
Yeah, I think Rockets have still got to score twice, Mark. I think they've got to score twice. I think.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
There's Hoods are looking. They're looking confident. They're shooting the ball well. They're getting after the boards. So I think this is still.
In terms of management, Coach King's still got 2 timeouts, so he's well, in a good place to manage this for the last minute and 6 seconds. Donaldson at Delaney. This is Pemberton.
It'd be interesting. Carter on the block against Tin.
Skip to O'Sullivan. It could be huge, and he makes it.
That is huge.
Massive shot from Adrian O'Sullivan. He's not shot it well all night.
He's an underrepresented shooter. That's the truth.
Tin, one dribble pull-up, misses, front rim. Could have been huge.
Yeah, could have been. I think good to see AJ there within touching distance.
Finds AJ Carr, lays it in, and that will be all she wrote, I think.
I think you'll find we said Rockets need to score twice. They listened.
Not we, mate. You did.
Well, I was just
good shout.
Sharing the knowledge, but it just felt that that's what was needed, and I think that O'Sullivan, I've said before, it's been out for such a long time, and you don't see his name enough on things, but he is one of the better shooters that this group has. And it's good to see that, once you've got O'Sullivan, if he's wide open, Mark, if he can make a couple of these, it takes the heat off Pemberton, and you can rewind that last play. They're all over Pemberton, and suddenly on the weak side, Carter throws a great-looking pass, and O'Sullivan knocks it down.
So options here for Nottingham. They will, I'm presuming, advance the ball with timeout. They've got to score quick and foul. There's no real other option. There's not enough possessions left in this one to do anything else.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think they really need a 3 necessarily. They need a quick score and foul, and then see what they can do with probably the last 20 seconds, and see if a 3 in the last 20 seconds makes it interesting, if they can cut it to 6.
Yeah, I think it's just too far now for them. I think the possession they needed was about 3 possessions ago, and that was the one where Tintin misses the 3.
Yep.
I think that was the one which would have taken them to, single shot game lead. So I think this is a bit too far for them, but this is a team that certainly is going to be, is doing their city very proud.
Yeah, teams back out on the floor as we just see. It's going to be Luke Mitchell on the sideline to take this one.
Yep.
As I say, I think they probably need something in 6 to 8 seconds tops.
Yep. And watch AJ front 10 here.
They'll go straight to the turnaround. Really tough shot.
Yeah.
And he had a chance, and that will be the end. That will, I think probably just about do it. They needed something quick, saw what they wanted, quick 3. Wonder if they could have come up with something a little bit more creative out of the timeout. Sort of was a bit of a basic, just throw into Tin and hope that he can make some room on a turnaround. Yeah,
I think, he needs more than that. He needs to come off some screens. He needs to be open when he catches it, and with a little bit of air, a little bit of space around him. I think if you get Tin a good look at that, or you get Delaney Powell or someone, and it becomes a 5-point game with 30 seconds to go, then I think there's, it's still a game, and a steal and a layup or something, out of the ordinary happening, and you've got a game going on right now. Sid's going to ice the game, and that is going to be all she wrote. I think it's a 10-point game with 30 seconds to go.
Another timeout.
Yeah, I think Hoods will be disappointed with that, Mark. I think they played incredibly well. I think they got themselves in this game for about 38 minutes.
Yeah, I think at the end there, like to follow on from what you said, I think the way I would look at that, I would look at doing something that goes towards the rim, whether it's something a little back door that's a lob towards the to the back of the rim, if it's something on a curl that you can get a score in 2 seconds or in a second where it's barely touching your hands. Then you're at 35 seconds at a 6-point ball game. You foul them, Rockets miss free throws, then you shoot a 3, then it's a 1-possession game with 25 to go, and it's interesting. Lacked a little bit of creativity, I think. Just as we're getting again a couple of shots of the arena here tonight. Plenty of people in the house. It's been a really, really nice atmosphere. If you do get to watch us back and you were in attendance, thank you for joining us, because it has been really, really good. Everyone on the live stream, just appreciate all the thanks from people who have said they've enjoyed the stream. If you do get a chance to check in with us again when it's not a day that Nottingham are playing, or if it's a Rockets game you can't make, join us again. It's been a really good addition to something that Reading have been doing here for a number of years, and I think this is just another kind of string to the bow. So if you have been watching, really appreciate you joining. We've got 28 seconds to go. Will they get a little bit more creative with this one? Let's see.
Let's see what they've got here. I mean, Tin's catching it 35, 40 feet away now. There you go. That'll be. That's a fitting end, I think.
Yeah.
A very fitting end. Rockets defence stepped up a notch. And remember, 34 in the first half for Hoods. Ended up with 76. So, you know, they've improved what they did in the first half, but unfortunately defensively they've given up from, 38 Rockets were had now at 86 with 20 seconds to go. So it's been a better offensive half by Reading. And I think when Nottingham looked at this one back, there's probably 4 possessions in this game where if they had those a different way, they're going to play any team in the top half of this league close. Yeah, good team. As good as any of the teams I've seen come in here. Nottingham look like they will dribble this one out. Yeah. This is just a walkout, isn't it, for the last 8 seconds, and just you can hear the kids in the background cheering for the Rockets, and in 5 seconds we should hear a great big cheer. Yeah, it's going to go nuts in this place. Yeah. Really good stuff from the Rockets. They run out winners here, 88-76, a little bit closer than the scoreline would suggest. Yep. Nottingham was knocking on the door throughout the game, just couldn't get over the hump. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Coach Keane just clearing up with the ref how it came that way. I think he's going to go. How did it go from 5-0 to 5-5 with nothing really in between? Yeah, in the same 2 teams. Yeah, the same thing. It's incredible, isn't it? And I think these games are great for the officials to watch back as well. I've heard a lot of officials saying they're catching it on the stream. They've obviously got their own officials coming and watching, their own assessors and stuff like that. So they're in really capable hands. When Richard Stokes is in the building, there's going to be a conversation afterwards with them, and it's really good to see that not only the players but officials and coaches are all got some conversations had after each and every game. But what a great advert for EBL One. Absolutely. And just before we kind of close, I think I want to thank everybody who did join us. Again, really appreciate everyone saying thanks for the live stream, and we will endeavour to get as many of these up as we can. I think we're pretty much covered until the end of the year at Rivermead, so there'll be live streamed action for the rest of the season and hopefully into the playoffs. Yeah. Three home games left as well, Mark. If I'm not sure about that, but I think it's 3 home games left. And also a nod to DC, to captain Danny Carter as well, because it will be his last home games of his career. Can you believe? And it's 17 years since we started on that journey. Yeah. Some of us remember that better than others, but anyway, so a nod to him as well and his family and to all those guys. They do a lot of work, and it'd be really nice. It'd be bittersweet, but it'd be really nice to see him going on into, having a bit more time with his family, and I'm sure he'll be around the Rockets in a different way. Right, final close from us. Just a quick comment on the Nottingham Hoods. Who impressed for you today? Well, I think, number 42, and we need to do a bit more research on him, but I think he's really given that Nottingham Hoods team a face as well. He's been able to score inside. He's knocked his free throws down. I thought he did a really good job, and when he went out, when he was on the bench, I think they really missed him. So, Tintin, of course, gets a lot of the plaudits, but, Luke Mitchell running the team really well. I thought Kieran Wright did himself proud early on, but I think, we can only really talk about Well today and Tintin. Yeah, great guys. Had a good job, a good game today. And just single out one as we kind of close the stream for Rockets who you thought was a difference maker. I think today, I think AJ Carr's defence, offensively his numbers won't tell you the same story, but I think when he came in, I think he made a real difference. And I think O'Sullivan, just the fact that he knocked that one down. Sydney, we talked about a lot, getting to the basket. But, when you haven't played well or you haven't scored necessarily very well, like O'Sullivan's had a tough journey back in, to make the game-changing shot. Maybe not the game winner, but you know he's got to do that, and I think that's great to see. As well as I thought Chive was excellent in the first half, Mark.
Yeah, so we just see the Rockets guys talking with the supporters, some of the kids over there getting autographs. Really good to see. Just leaves us 30 seconds or so to sign off. Again, I know I've said it a lot, but I really do appreciate everyone joining. It means the world to us. The more we can get the numbers up, the more we can prove this is a viable off-court product that people will want to watch and look at. So it means the world to us for you to join, and it gets to spread what we, the sport we love. So very much appreciated. Thanks to you, mate, for joining me again.
Pleasure as always.
Got you for 3 quarters, so that was really good this time around. Next home game is at JMA, though, isn't it?
Yeah, there's we'll post all that up. It'll be all on the website. It'll all be out on social media over the next few days as well, so everyone can get used to it. And the more people that come down, the better this environment gets, and put Reading on the map.
So that will leave us to sign off. Thank you everyone for joining us. We will see you again soon. Check into all social media channels at Rockets Reading, I think across all the platforms. Look for all the highlights, and we will see you next time.
I enjoy that more than coaching now.